Alright, this is going to be AP Calculus Self-Check 5.3 Solutions. A note that I'm making for all of these videos for 5.3 and 5.4 is that I'm using a method called Taxman, and if you don't know what that is, you can go back and look at my other notes, my other lectures. It's not formal math, so it might look a little bit strange and wrong, but it is a method to calculate the answer, or find the answer for these problems. So let's jump right into this. This is going to be number one. We're taking the integral, and we see the inner here. For powerhouse, the derivative of the inner dinner is 3. It's not 1. Whenever dinner is not 1, that means you're using Taxman or you're using U substitution. So let's use Taxman. Taxman means I need to have a U. I need to find the Taxman. And I need to find the derivative of U. Alright, so U, that's everything inside the parentheses for powerhouse. That's 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2. Taxman is the guy standing at the front door, or maybe the back door, but there's nothing, or yeah, there doesn't seem to be any Taxman, so the answer here is 1. The derivative of U is 3. And this is the fraction that we're going to be using, so this is 1/3 that we're going to pay the Taxman. So we're going to put a 1/3 here. So this is going to turn into the integral from 0 to 1 of 1/3 of U squared. Dx, I guess. You can leave this dx du. It doesn't really matter for Taxman. It's not formal math. From here, I'm going to take the integral. So I'm evaluating, I still have my 1/3. This is going to be u to the power of, it's going to go up a power to the power of 3. And I'm going to divide down, divide by 3. So this is going to be 1/3 times 1/3 u cubed. And still, I guess, dx, or no more dx, sorry. And then evaluation bar between 0 and 1. And we don't want a u in here, so let's resubstitute our u back in. 3x minus 2. And that turns into 1/9, the 1/3 times 1/3, times, and it's not going to be u anymore, it's going to be 3x minus 2 cubed, all the way from 1 to 0, or evaluated between 0 and 1. So when we sub this in, what do we get? So subbing in 1, 3 times 1 is 3, minus 2 is 1, 1 cubed is 1, times a 9th is a 9th. And I'm going to subtract whatever is over here. So if I plug in 0, what do I get? So this is going to be 3 times 0 is 0, minus 2 is negative 2, negative 2 cubed is negative 8, negative 8 times 1/9 is negative 8/9. And again we have negatives kissing, so it becomes positive, and we get 1/9 plus 8/9, and that is equal to 9/9. Oh, change back colors here. 9/9. So that is 1. Correct answer is D. Alright, moving on to number 2. So we have this integral. Again, we can use Taxman because this is E-house, treehouse, which means we're up here for our u. Our u is t over 2. If I take du, the derivative of the inner, I get a half. A half is not 1, therefore I'm using u substitution or Taxman. Let's use Taxman. So we need a u, we need Taxman, and we need the derivative of u. So u is t over 2, t over 2. Taxman, that's going to be this number in front. It could have been on the inside or the outside. You can interchange these, so Taxman is a half. And the derivative of u is 1/2. So 1/2 divided by a half, that's going to be 1. So we're going to pay the Taxman. We're going to say that this is equal to 1, and we're going to do our u substitution, or our mock u substitution. So this is now going to just be the straight on integral, no more half because it turned into a 1, e to the power of u. And then I guess dt, doesn't really matter out here. Okay, so integrate e to the power of u, and that's going to be e to the power of u. And I don't really, I'll just say that, e to the power of u, and from here I'm going to resubstitute our u back in, which is t over 2, so this is going to be e to the, okay, hold on, I'm making some slight mistakes here. I should have said back here plus c, because I'm taking the antiderivative. So I should have said e to the power of u plus c, and then from there I can resubstitute our u back in, which is e to the power of t over 2 plus c. So I think, yeah, there it is. C is the correct answer. All right, moving on to number 3. We have the integral of sine of 3x plus 4. All right, so inner for trig functions is whatever's on the inside of the parentheses for the trig function. So inner is 3x plus 4, dinner is 3. Dinner is not 1, therefore I'm using u substitution or taxman. Using taxman, we have our u, we need our taxman, and we need our du. So what is our u? Our u is 3x plus 4. Our taxman is the number out front here, right here, and you don't see any numbers, so taxman is just 1. And the derivative of u is 3. Derivative of that is 3. So we're going to pay the taxman with a third. So our new function looks like this. It's the integral of 1/3 of sine of u. Perfect. Now, what is this going to turn into? So when I actually take the antiderivative of sine, I still have my 1/3. 1/3, I mean, that could have been brought to the outside if we wanted to, but it can stay on the inside too, it doesn't matter. So I have to do the antiderivative of sine, and you might be thinking, okay, it's cosine or negative cosine, and here's how we remember. So it's the anti-same. Anti-same means change, so change means I'm going to have a negative now, a negative cosine of u. All right, and we're almost there. We just need to plug in our u. So plugging in our u gives us negative 1/3 cosine of, and our u was 3x plus 4, 3x plus 4. That's our final answer. So where's our negative 1/3? There it is. The correct answer is A. All right, moving on to our final problem, number 4. So this is the definite integral of cosine of t from 0 to x. Kind of a weird substitution, but it shouldn't. I mean, it's the same rules that we've been using so far. So, okay, so do we need to use u substitution or taxman? Well, the inner here is t. Dinner is 1. Oh, it is 1 in this case, so we don't have to use taxman or u substitution. We can just go for it. So the antiderivative of cosine, anti-change. C stands for change. Anti-change means same. So it's going to be the same sign. So this is going to be sine of t, and I need to evaluate that between 0 and x. All right, so plugging in. When I plug in x into here, I get sine of x. Can't really do anything else with that. I can't evaluate it, it's just sine of x. I'm going to subtract. When I sub in 0, it's going to be sine of 0. Sine of 0. Now you have to remember what sine of 0 is. Remember, sine means the y coordinate, and cosine would have been the x coordinate. And where is 0? 0 is right here. What is the y coordinate of that point? It's 0. So this is equal to sine of x. And that is A. Correct answer is A. Alright, thanks for watching. Go ahead and look at or do self-check 5.4 next 8 minutes. I'll see you in the next video.